Yes, I know FBA is not a group based on definition. What I said was that those who mob and who take on a mob mentality inside a group, because obviously, based on foundational Black American, it's describing my own lineage.
Might have to drop a dime on them niggas.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
You gotta stop it.
I don't like that shit.
For sure, bro.
I don't like that shit.
All right, y'all know how we do, man. Always pushing health, wealth, and a better understanding self. So here we got 19 keys. He is explaining himself on, still explaining himself about the situation of what he said about FBA. Now, in my video, I told y'all he's gonna have to go back to Oakland, and we already been speaking to Oakland, and Oakland is they not happy about that. So as soon as when he touched back home, you know them guys came and seen them and got his mind right. You know, and this is why this is coming out. Okay. Shout out to that one brother, man, from Oakland. All my Oakland peeps, man, that's been watching the channel, holding me down. Everybody from Cali that been, you know what I'm saying, just holding me down over there on the West Coast, man. Love and appreciate y'all. But we're gonna go over this video. He's still canceled. You feel me? We even though it's kind of like an apology. But did you see when he was in Africa, he was all tough talk. He was like, I thought I would be on I don't care about the FBA list. I thought I would always be on the FBI list. Ha, 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 kiki. So it was all kiki when he was over there in Africa. But listen to how he sounds right now. We're going to break this down. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button. Push me on the algorithm. I greatly appreciate that. Let's get it.
FBA is not a group based on definition. What I said was, yes, I know FBA is not a group based on definition. What I said was that those who mob and who take on a mob mentality inside a group, because obviously, based on foundational Black American, it's describing my own lineage, right? My great grandfathers, you understand me? My great grandmother, that is obvious. And what I said is that it behaves, and when I say it, I'm talking about those people who engage in diaspora wars. So my brother Steve asked me,
you got to get it. So he's from California. Okay, I even see the video with him in Chicago. You're gonna talk about this as a diaspora war rather than real stuff. If you real boots on the ground, there's real things that you need to be calling out, not foundational Black Americans. In California, we got whack 100 over there with Aiden Ross and the police. Y'all want to talk about Tariq Nasheed? Why we ain't talking about these real traitors, bro? That's my point. It's like you're bringing this stuff up, and I can't even relate to what he's talking about because it's so much more realer stuff than some online back and forth.
What's up with the diaspora wars? And if you know Man to Man, that's a platform where we just speak candidly. We're actually going to be doing another episode. So when I'm talking to him, like talking to Naomi, and we just sitting at home, it's not a show that gets hundreds of thousands of views like high-level conversations. So in context of the diaspora wars, there are people who are fringe. There are people who are polarizing. And when we talk about diaspora wars, it is not everybody. There's a small group of people, right, who did take on those behavior traits. They respond a certain way. They're extremely negative. And if you
do you see how he's just talking about FBA? He's not talking about it being a back and forth. He's almost speaking on this like we're just talking about, you know, Africans. Like there's nothing they did, nothing that happened. We just want to talk bad about Africans for no reason at all. This is what he's implying. Let me let him go.
Want proof of that? Look at how people have attacked me. People have sent death threats. People have sent hate, right? People have sent all sort of different things. They did not communicate with me.
Listen, I don't believe in them death threats and hates, but if it happened, you should have never got that. But Oakland was pissed. People was pissed at that you would say that you would put the police on somebody without no proof. That's a violation. And you doing it to a lineage. It ain't like you doing it to them dudes on the streets. You're just doing it to a whole group of people, and you think we supposed to take that lightly? No.
Or to me and ask me what my thoughts were directly, those who have platforms who I would have engaged with. No, it was like attack, attack, attack. And so I will always consider that to be a small group of people, but you cannot say a whole entire lineage because some people don't even know this exists, right? But when you're describing a lineage, that is different than when you're describing behaviors of people who fit patterns, right? So I don't know if that still makes sense to you. If it does, let me know, right? And
it makes no sense because you're not holding everybody accountable. You're not thinking. That's like if you see me at the corner store and somebody slapped me, but you see the after effects of me whooping them, and then you like, oh man, you a bully. Nah, bro, this man just slapped me in the face. Like, talk about that. You got to speak about that because you making it seem like we just out here just for no reason. And you rock with Tariq Nasheed. Well, you did until you kind of like sneak distance.
And I'm not always privy to the way people are consuming the information or how they're operating in different silos. So I'm not sure how the narrative is going to be spun later on. So I can't say everything perfect, nor will I try to. But I appreciate you asking the question. You understand me? But when people behave in a certain way, then I'm really looking at behavior patterns, right? And that behavior pattern is what I use to define the outcome of what something is.
I don't believe this is all cap. It's bull crap. We ain't going for this. He can't, like, it ain't resonating. I can't fathom how he can come up to this conclusion of how you just gonna sit up and talk about a small group of people only and not what the others are doing. It's people coming online talking about immigrants built America. You got people in the Black Caucus that's pooling our resources and giving it to other countries. We got a lot of backdooring going on with us and our name, our image and likeness. And you talking about a small group of people that's pissed? You ain't right. I can't trust anything homie saying right here.
Is it what something's not
real,
right? But nobody can say something is. Nobody can define the rules for lineage, right? That's the whole point. But if somebody tries to define those rules, then you can only do that operating inside a group, right? So as a Black American, you can't tell me what I can and cannot say because we criticize Black America, right? And then we have a lot of constructive things for it. So if I can make astute observations and be critical of my own people, because that is my people, there's no rules for that, right? So same thing when it comes to being a foundational Black American. I can be critical of people that come from that same lineage. Because for me, it's the same thing. When you start like utilizing the language and identifiers consistently to separate, it feels like you're attacking a group, but it's really the same way that you've always been speaking on the people, right? When you speak on negative attributes or something or positive attributes, historical attributes or things of that nature, to me, it's the same, right? And so I guess you have to understand the context in which somebody is defining something or observing something versus this person, the agent, this person hates us, this person is like, I can't really get caught up in all of that. I think that's people's content cycles of anything. And I think people benefit if they can get a video that gets hundreds of thousands of views. I think people benefit if they can connect their name to mine and,
You started this. He started this about it's a psyop. You said that. Okay, you attached the FBA movement to a psyop. So now when we hear what y'all saying, just like we did with James Smalls, when y'all say this and we come back and say, yeah, this is agent talk, you a fed. We just keeping it real. There's no reason why you would put the police on a lineage of people, even a group of people that you saying that's going back and forth online. That's weird. You got I mean, it's just way more people that's out there, and you in California that definitely need to be called out that y'all ain't doing.
Be disrespectful and talk all this shit in the world and completely disregard any of the work that you've done. And so I really don't have respect for people who disregard everything that you've done for something that they don't like that you've done. You know what I'm saying? You say, well, why don't you attack the... Oh, okay, yes, sir, I understand what you're saying. You're saying rhetorical. What is the criticism of continental Africans? I just talked about the criticism of continental Africans. I just talked about the fallacies and how some of the diaspora returns can be a scam. But Africa is a huge continent, you know? When you travel, you stop speaking on it that much as a continent because you realize how different that each place is. Like, Africa is a uniting word. There's no the United States of Africa, right? Kwame Nkrumah is the one who tried to do that, you know, and there was a coup led against him. And then, of course, you have Muammar Gaddafi who tried to create the United States of Africa, but there currently is no United States of Africa. So how they operate in Kenya, Ghana, Uganda, you know, South Africa, and how they operate in Egypt, right, is going to be different. How they operate in Zimbabwe or Ghana or Burkina Faso, these are all uniquely different, right? Where you see the Ghana president doing an EU deal, right, with the UE, you're not going to see Traore doing that same deal, right? So this is where you find that all these differences arise. And again, my mind was like many people before I started traveling, and now I'm just travel to the continent. You know, I've been to Japan, I've been to Mexico, I've been to all throughout Europe, right? We went to Amsterdam and we had our tour out there. Well, we was in the Netherlands and we went to Rotterdam, and then we was in London, we went to Birmingham, right? We've been to so many different places. You just start seeing the world from different ways because you get different experiences everywhere you go. And it has opened my mind up in ways that it's hard to articulate to people sometimes because it may feel like I'm being arrogant, or it may feel like I'm doing it from this place of, I don't know, privilege or whatever. But it's just your mind has to stretch. You don't travel a place and then have the same exact perspective that you had when you were staying local. That's just reality, right? And sometimes it's for the good and sometimes it's for the bad. And so, like, going to Nigeria changes my perception of Nigeria versus hearing narratives about Nigeria. Some of the narratives are true, some of them are false, some I can see where they come from. You know, it really depends on your source of information, right? And then I understand my own perspective comes with a level of privilege sometimes. So when I travel, sometimes we go to a place and we travel and we get the person with a great platform and they treat me like I'm a big influencer. So therefore they give me a certain level of experience. And then I have to take myself, step out of that experience and think that this is not the experience of the average person that will come here, right? And so I can't oversell my experience as a universal one, right? That's something that I know. And not only just from traveling, from being a Black man in America, listen, man, I was gifted a certain level of handsomeness on this planet. So when I talk about women, you know, you might walk up to a woman and they might not have the same reaction as if I walk up to it. So I can't speak on the gender wars in a certain way because certain men might not get the same experience. You know what I'm saying? You know, they might see me as somebody with influence and wealth, if you will, and with a great network and position, handsomeness and 6 feet and all of this good stuff. You know what I'm saying? They got it going on. You know what I'm saying? With consciousness. So I can't say that's going to be the same experience everybody getting. That's bias in reality. And I think about things like that all the time as well. Like, my experience is not everybody. So this is why I sometimes shut up about things. And I'm like, Keys, you can say what your experience is, but it's privileged. And not privileged like, you know, I'm just born with it, but I went and got it and now I got it. You feel me? My older brother gave me the game and made it plain when I was young. You feel me? So I don't walk around like somebody else. You know, unless you was given what I got, that you can't do what I do. So I do understand that we all speak from different. So I try to find what that commonality is. And I try to find, like, how can I observe this and speak through the lens of the average man, right? And the average woman. Because that's really, when you're talking to the masses, who you talking to. Right.
All right, so there y'all go, man. It just definitely, he seemed like Oakland got to him. The people he had to speak about this because it was just too much tough talk. He kept pushing the goalpost as this, went further, but we know that this is a response. It probably hit his pockets. He back in America, so it's like, you're gonna have to change the tune. But he wasn't the same. He wasn't having the same tune he had when he was in Africa. If y'all compare these two videos, y'all can check that video. I'm gonna link it to the end of this one. It wasn't the same. He wasn't talking the same. Now he's talking more humble. It's like somebody humbled him. He's talking more humble. He's talking more, I didn't mean the whole lineage, people who calling people the Fed and calling me the Fed and all of this, they doing this to get clicks and likes. But look, we've been on this internet thing, protecting protecting people who disrespect us. And we didn't even think it would be you. Listen, we're not targeting certain people to get our name popping like your boy Viral. We not doing that. We not going over and trying to get up under no jumper and whack 100 and we know that their principles don't align with us, and we still gonna try to. We not caring. We got our own motion. We not worrying about all of that, and y'all keep using that, and it's like it's not making no sense. We're just calling out what needs to be called out. You did some police behavior, and Oakland got your mind right. We can tell from this video. He was facing some consequences and repercussions over there in Oakland. The partner probably tell him, "Hey, bro, you're gonna have to drop a video, fam, because man, look, you disrespecting Oakland." Because on the last video, he talking about I'm from Oakland, California. Yeah, so like, look, when you say that, you representing your town, and they wasn't going for this. So I want to know what y'all think about this in the comment section, man. Do you feel like what he's saying is holding any weight? Sound like a bunch of word salad. Said a few things about, I can't speak on the whole lineage of people. Exactly. We know that. So we're going to see how this goes for him. But we know that people on live is coming in. He went live, and now he's trying to say that's my lineage, the Foundation of Black America. Why would a Black person disrespect their own people? People who do that, they get paid. They're a Fed. Like, we feel like they agents. That's a part of the system of discrediting us and our lineage. So if you ever sound close to doing that, you're weird. Like, you should never come close to disrespecting your people or making your people feel like they're disrespected. If you do that in any kind of way, we're looking at it as a money grab. So y'all know how we do, man. Always standing on business for the lineage. Okay? Staying loyal to the soil. So y'all know how we do, man. I'm going to catch y'all in the next video. Peace and love.
A community must have three things to have a community in it. You must have a wholly independent economic structure that can provide goods, service, products, and things for your own people, and jobs and tax spaces for your own people. You should at least control four basic things. You should be trying to control water, food, medicine, and energy to be able to survive and compete.
Here we got Mr. Pollock. He had a cornfield. He took advantage of a free water test from us, and this is what we found in this water. We found sulfur, we found hardness, and we solved these problems with an easy fix of 2 tanks. So get your free water test today. Stay blessed. Click the link below.